we begin here. This is the statement that we want you to consider. In the subject of thoughts turning to things, and that's what creation is. That's what deliberate creation is. Thoughts turning to things. You are physically focused in your human experience, and you want things to manifest. You want relationships to manifest. You want money to manifest. You want lifestyle to manifest. You've been hearing us say for a while that the way you feel or the emotion that you feel in any moment in time is a manifestation. So here's the statement on the subject of thoughts turning to things. In the beginning of those thoughts turning to things, or as those vibrations are gaining momentum, or as the trend is just being decided by you, the evidence is indistinguishable to you through your physical senses. You just can't see it. The earliest of progress, in fact, quite a bit of what's going on, you might say behind the scenes, or if you were a seed in the ground, you might say beneath the soil. But those beginnings, those vibrational beginnings of evolution and expansion, and here's the word you want, progress. Progress toward the bank account you want, or the relationship you want, or the physical bodily conditions that you want, is indistinguishable to you. That means a whole lot's going on that you can't prove through the physical evidence of it. Now, understanding that is very helpful to you. Being negative about it is not helpful to you. In other words, we get it. We understand why some of you might complain about that. Well, if I can't know that I'm making any progress, then how do I stay optimistic or positive? How do I find faith or expectation when it keeps not showing up? And that's the part that we really want to talk with you about, because it is absolute that it would show up if you could, when you do, maintain more consistent trending. But you don't maintain more consistent trending of optimism or positive expectation because you want to take score of the manifestation before it is seeable or hearable or smellable or tasteable or touchable, while it is still indistinguishable to you through your physical senses, not through your emotions. You can feel it in your emotions. That feeling of discouragement, in fact, is your guidance system giving you an indication that you are trending in opposition to what you want. And that trending is what is so important. You must maintain a positive expectation even before you see the evidence, or you will not see the evidence. If you want it and doubt it and 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 want it and doubt it, then you trend toward it and away from it and toward it and away from it and toward it and away from it. And so it maintains that indistinguishable position on and on and on and on and on for days or weeks or decades or for all of your physical life experience for no good reason other than you're not applying what you now know about focus. That's why, if you've been listening to us for a while, you've been hearing us say it's been an important part of the trending or theme of every conversation that has ever flowed from us to you. And that theme is, there is nothing that you cannot be or do or have. You never get it done. But you sure can slow down by thinking opposing thoughts, by trending in opposition to your desire. And so, as we move forward through this conversation, we want you to listen for how easy it seems for humans to trend in opposition to their desire, because you are, we love you so much, so enamored with the now. What you're seeing in your now holds a much bigger part of your vibration, of your focus, of your trending, than is good for the outcome that you seek. You must decide to trend because of the way you feel, not because of the manifestation. The manifestation is old news anyway. The manifestations that you're living are the jumping off places for more manifestations, for more life experience. So what is doesn't mean diddly squat. What is not important in the way you make it, other than it is the basis from which you are now choosing what you prefer. But if what is the basis by which you decide your rightness or wrongness in relationship with others, if what you see is the basis by which you evaluate your worthiness or your ability, then what is not serving you in the way that it could. It's a platform. It's a bouncing off place. But it is not distinguishable evidence of what you've got going on now. It's the result of what you've had going on. So that leads us back into a discussion that we have with you often, and feel the importance of how these two conversations dovetail together. This is the subject of the path of least resistance. And we want to say right up front with emphasis, your path of least resistance is an ever-changing, ever-evolving path. But in your human societies, so often you want to come to rules or decisions, sometimes that you dig up, that have been written and buried, lived by those ancient civilizations. Sometimes not so ancient. Sometimes it's just things that you learned from your parents that someone drilled into your head. And we're not by any means in any way wanting to discount the wisdom that you've gathered along your way. But we are wanting to say to you that you have right now in the moment fresh, dependable, accurate guidance coming forth from source energy that is exactly for you. We don't want you to take anybody else's word for it, not ours, not anybody's. We want you to show yourself that you can accomplish a conscious relationship with your inner being. Because, and here's the way to do it. You care about how you feel. Why does that work? Because your inner being is pure love. And your inner being cares about how you feel and how everyone feels. Your inner being cares so much that your inner being never deviates from value, from the moment-to-moment giving of value. Your inner being never holds a thought about you or anyone else that is diminishing in nature. There is no regression. Your inner being never holds you to something in a negative stance. Therefore, if you will decide that you will care first and foremost and most often about how you feel, which is your indicator of how you are blending or dovetailing with the vibrational frequencies of your source, of that source within you, then you will hold yourself in the replenishing mode. You will hold yourself in the attitude of clarity. You will hold yourself in the attitude of most love and most exhilaration about life. That's where your passion and enthusiasm and joy come from, and nothing else will do. Yes, of course, there are other humans who moments in time are tuned in, tapped in, turned on to that, and when they hold you as their object of attention, they're like satellite dishes that beam you or call you or influence you into that frequency. And that's a nice thing. We know that happens here in these gatherings for you. But you don't want to be dependent upon these gatherings or upon anyone else, upon any condition or circumstance. You want to be an unconditional lover and liver of life. An unconditional meaning you hook into the frequency of who you are because you know it exists, because you know it is good, because you know it is being broadcast to you, and because you know how to follow the beam or the signal. You can tell by the way you feel whether you are on the upper half of the emotional scale, which is from that feeling of letting go all the way up to passion, as compared to that feeling of not letting go. And your inner being is always on the upper half of the scale. And you want to be aware of where you are. And it's helpful to understand where you are in relationship to where others are. Sometimes someone is really on the lower half of the emotional scale, and they would really like to have a chat with you. What they really want is for you to agree with them, to help them justify where they are. But when you do that, you don't help them. And it certainly does not help you. And your inner being does not do that for you. So, trust the process and know that there's a whole lot going on that is indistinguishable to your eyes and ears and nose and fingertips and tongue, but it is not indistinguishable to your emotions. And when you feel an emotion that doesn't feel that good, or one that feels really awful, stop and say to yourself in the moment, this is distinguishable to me. I can feel that I'm moving in opposition to who I really am and to what I really want and to what my vortex, my vibrational reality holds for me. And as you remind yourself of this law of the universe, the law of attraction, and of these laws of deliberate creation that you've been learning from us, and from this powerful emotional guidance system, which shows you this powerful art of allowing, the art of allowing you to be in vibrational sync with what you've become vibrationally, that you are in the process of allowing yourself to become in all other aspects. The law of attraction says that which is likened to itself is drawn. What you give your attention to, you're offering a vibration. And that vibration is being answered in endless ways because of the frequency of your output. You get what you think about. Wanted or unwanted, you get what you think about. Because when you focus, your attraction mechanism is on. Even if you are focusing by default. Most people do most of that through observing what's already manifested. Not observing what's in the vortex, not observing what is really wanted, observing what's going on. That's why most people just continue to regurgitate different places, different phases, but the same thing over and over again. This law of attraction, very important to understand. Utilize the emotions that you feel in order to discern what your point of attraction is, wanted or unwanted. Deliberate feeling is what deliberate creation is. It's not deliberate observation of what's going on around. It's deliberately feeling your emotions. You can do, in real time, moment by moment, better and better and better trending. And when you do that, you allow what has been indistinguishable, what has been not seeable or smellable or hearable or tasteable or touchable. You allow the momentum of your creation to gather enough momentum that you are able to discern it. We know you're getting this.